What's good, YouTube? It's me, Gandorasworn here. I'm here to show you guys a deck profile of a deck that I think is really cool, and you may or may not be seeing much of it in the next meta. It's a 60-card deck that revolves around um, the lawnmower card. Some places have it listed as the grass is greener on the other side. I think a lot of us already know what this card does. So it's a 60 card Lightsworn variant that I think is really consistent and probably would exist in the meta if not for this expensive card costing about $2,700 to run the deck just off these three cards alone. Hopefully, if this card doesn't end up being a secret and this card gets reprinted, this deck will exist in the meta. So I'm going to show you guys a deck profile and then play against the AI a few times just to show you how the deck runs. So first we get into it, we run triple Gandora. This is why the deck is called Gandorasworn, because instead of Judgment Dragon, it uses Gandora, that card that Yugi used to defeat Yami Yugi. So this is a new variant. So this one, you summon it by sending two monsters from your hand or field to the grave. He gets 300 for each banished card, and then he gets effects based on how many Gandoras are in your grave with different names. So if you get one in grave, you can pay half your life points and nuke the field. If you have two Gandoras in grave, you can pay half your life points, nuke, and banish the field. And if you have three, it hits the grave too. And then you run two different Gandoras with different names. That way you have three different Gandoras that could be in the grave. These ones, their effects don't matter. You use them just for the name. I've never brought them out before. They're literally just graveyard fodder. And then this is the heart and soul of the deck. Fairy Tale Snow. Its effect, I think we all know what this does. You banish 7 cards from your hand, field, or grave. Special it from your grave during either player's turn. And then you can book your opponent's monster. It's the ultimate rank 4 toolbox, and it helps stop OTKs. It's super broken. I really hope this card doesn't get hit anytime soon because it's such a fun card, especially in a 60-card deck, and it fuels Gandora, because summoning just one of this gives Gandora 2,100 attack points already. So it's really good. And then I run double Eclipse Wyvern. I don't know if other Gandorasworn decks have been doing this, but this card, it speeds the OTK up so much because it helps you get to your Gandora quicker and helps prevent milling it. And you banish it with Fairy Tale. So this Fairy Tale does serve the function that the Dragon Rulers used to in Gandorasworn. So yeah. And then you run the Lightsworn engine. You run triple Wolf because this deck does a lot of milling, and you don't draw it that often. And even if you do, it's not that big an issue. Most Lightsworn decks usually stay away from this card, but 3 works good. And then triple Raiden for the milling. Double Lila, just back row hate. Lila's always a good Lightsworn. Triple Lumina, probably the most broken Lightsworn, and then just one Fellis. You don't have to do the Fellis. I kind of like it. You could just run a third Lila. It's probably more consistent, but Fellis is fun. Why not? Double Trick Clown because you mill it. It's really good for the rank 4 toolbox. And then Photon Thrasher for the same reason. Just get your rank 4 plays off early in the game. And then I run double Necroface. The reason I run this is because you banish it. It gets, 5 more. You banish 5 more cards with its effect, and then it gives him more attack points. It gives him 1,500 just off banishing one of these. So it helps speed up the OTK, and it's its own little beat stick on its own. Let's say you mess up the OTK. It's late game. There's no way of winning. You summon Necroface. It resets your deck. It gets beefy on its own. So you don't waste resources. It resets the game and lets you continue your OTK if your opponent does something to mess you up. Double Curry Bandit, not the best card to draw late game, but on the first turn it helps you get your setup really quickly. I hardly ever use it. Most of the time I just discard it or mill it, but it's still a good card. And then Double Card Trooper, same concept as Curry Bandit, but it's a beat stick and gives you a draw. They're both really good on the very first turn if it's hard getting your setup. And then I run one Lazuli and one Garnet, just standard Gem Knight engine. This picks up this when it goes to grave. And then one all-consuming Glutton. So you summon this guy by banishing 5 cards from your hand, field, or extra deck, and it gains 100 attack for each face-down banished card, so it banishes the cards face down. and then when it battles an opponent's monster, it banishes that monster face down. So it's good for getting rid of problem cards like Dark Law or any other card that might be getting in the way. It fuels him up, giving him 1500 or more attack. It's good tribute fodder for him too. Just a good card. I tech 1. You could try more if you want. Honestly, this card's not that needed. You could totally just drop it and not run it at all, but I kind of like it. And then triple lawn mowing. So basically this card, if you have more cards in your deck than your opponent, you mill until you have the same level or same number of cards. So you run 60 cards, most decks run 40. You're probably going to mill at least 15. If you go second and get it, that's really broken. And it fills up your grave, and if you open it, you pretty much win. It's not that good late game, but if you try to get it as early as possible and just win, but you can still play it if you don't draw it, because there's a lot of other milling cards in this deck that can set you up. And then you run triple left arm offering. You can't play it if you set any cards that turn, but you can get your setup. So if you open Curry Bandit or something, you can still normal it. You basically banish your hand and search a spell. So you play this, you banish your hand, it fuels his attack, so it makes him stronger, and then you get to search your lawn mowing, which is really, really broken, and it's just such a good first turn opening. And then triple solar recharge and double charge. You have to run this in any Lightsworn deck. 1 Rhoda because of Thrasher and Raiden. Triple Pot of Desires. This isn't even overkill because playing 1 Pot of Desires gives him 3000 attack and pluses you. If you mess up and hit something important, you can usually Necroface it back. I don't use Necroface's ability that much, but it's always good to have this safety net in case things go off on a tangent and it doesn't go your way. So it's really broken. It just helps the deck so much. 1 Upstart Goblin, just an extra card just to draw. You can run something in place of this. I just like it. It's another card you can banish with this. Triple Twin Twister because back row is not your friend. And then triple Brilliant Fusion just to fill up your grave and get those additional Exceed plays off. And then Foolish Burial is just standard. And then you run double Seraphonite for the Brilliant Fusion, get your extra normal summons. Norden because the double instant fusion. You only run 1 Norden because you're probably going to mill your other instant fusion. I run 1 Michael. You could probably put Black Rose in place. I kind of like Michael. It's just a neat card. It can put back your Lightsworns. This isn't really needed. And then I run double Diamond Direwolf. This is a rank 4 deck. It makes rank 4s. It's back row hate. It's field destruction. I play double. I don't run Castell. I've never felt the need for it. So I just like Diamond Direwolf to get rid of problem cards. And then triple Minerva. Best Exceed in the game right now. Most expensive Exceed in the game too. It's unfortunate this card desperately needs a reprint. Should come super in a tin at some point, maybe secret. I think those tins would sell really quick. It needs a reprint. So this gets off all your plays. It speeds the deck up tremendously. And then you run triple Tsukiyomi. Just pitch your hand, draw 2. You can make it like nothing. And then triple Emerald to keep the deck consistent and keep it flowing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a duel with this deck against the AI. The AI is going to be playing Magispector. It's going to be full power Magispector with triple of everything. So we'll see how that goes.